All right. Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom is Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat. And as you could tell by the title of the show, uh, it's we are talking about what it takes to rise as a nation. Um, and I'm basically, this is something since I've been not this even predates the Hebrew Israelite movement. Just being a black person in America, you always hear a lot of people talk about we got to come together. We gotta, you know, we gotta come together. That's all they say. We gotta come together. We gotta rise. This, that, and the other. We need to do this, that, and then even after coming into the Hebrew Israelite movement, the same thing. We need to unite. We got to do this. We got to come together with business and blah, blah, blah. And you always hear that narrative among our people because we are destroyed as a nation. We basically have no culture. But this is always the undertone that I've heard. It was a desire of my own. That I want to come together. I want to function like a nation. It's just something I've always heard, and now I'm finally on the other side of it, actually making moves, putting in work to actually come together and function as a nation, come together with like-minded people and everything like that. So now looking back, I feel I'm more in a position to actually speak on this topic and on the topic of what it really takes to rise, what it really takes to come together as a nation. You know what I'm saying? Um, y'all put let me know, somebody, let me know if the audio, how the audio is in there, if you could. And then I'm gonna press forward. Okay, I'm checking it on my end too, right here. Oh, looks like it's good, so we good. All right, but yeah. So you know, the I'm thinking of the different aspects, the different angles I've seen this topic uh, approached and done. Um, I've even in the Hebrew Israelite, my journeys through the Hebrew Israelite community and just being exposed to different aspects, different parts of the Hebrew Israelite movement. Um, I've seen on different occasions attempts to come together, um, whether it be meetings or and really it never really even the attempts I saw never really made it past meetings, because there were differences that would come up, and that's one of the things you hear get said all the time. We gotta get past our differences, this, that, and the other. um, but at the end of the day, uh, there's in order to come together, and in order to come together, you have to be like-minded. You know what I'm saying? People have to have the same mind. They have to have one mind. And just looking, when you look at the curses that are on us, because it's always going to come back spiritual. Um, if you can't get past that, if you can't get past the spiritual aspect, you will never come together with anything. Uh, you have to be like-minded in spirit. Once everybody's mind is aligned to a standard, which our standard is a perfect standard, is Yah's word, is His Torah. Um, Once everybody's mind is aligned to that, everything else is simple. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, business. Coming together and starting a business becomes simple. Coming together to do anything becomes simple. Okay. But the big elephant in the room are the curses we walk under as a nation. And then the curses that, or the spirits that people are influenced or possessed by as a whole in general with any nation. Okay. And I'm putting this out because I hear that talk out there in the Hebrew community, and I'm just trying to save people some footsteps. That's it. I'm not attacking anybody's zeal to come together with their brothers and sisters and come together with like-minded people, but been there, I've done that. I got the T-shirt, I've attempted it, and at the end of the day, it comes down to really a couple things. And one of the big things is people don't want to change. Now they talk a good game, but they don't really want to change, because I'm telling you, when you really come together in the sense that people want to come together, you can't do it under the culture that we've been deceived in the and raised in. Okay. The capitalistic culture is a selfish culture. You know, in order to do what people are talking about, come together and rise up and function as a nation, in order to do that and raise something up like that, it's going to take sacrifice. You can't be selfish. You see what I'm saying? Um, it's not going to come easy. You know, you're gonna lose. You know, and in order to do what we're talking about, and what I see a lot of brothers and sisters talking about in the Hebrew Israelite community, where we got to come together and function as a set apart righteous nation, boom, 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 boom. In order to do that, you really, like I said, it's going to come by sacrifice and pain. You're going to lose. You're going to have to detach from any shred of capitalistic mentality, which is selfishness, and you have to walk in selflessness. And in order to do that, and you don't understand, like, let me make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. When I say walk in selflessness, I'm not talking about, oh, I got to share my car or something like that. It's even certain behaviors and things that we might have that we're going to have to overcome. It's a constant process of overcoming yourself. Even me, I mean, the challenges, there is always a challenge there. There's always a mountain waiting to get climbed in this walk that I'm on. Coming to get truly come together with my brothers and sisters. And it's not done by talk, it's done by the walk. Okay. So, for those of you who follow me for any length of time, y'all have seen, spiritual combat, where I thought, hey, doing this show as good as I can is walking this thing out, because I'm always looking to walk this thing out as much as I can. So I felt like doing the spiritual combat show was walking it out to the utmost. Then I was like, nah, no, it ain't. No, I need to be out here. I need to link up and get people linked up physically in the Hebrew community. And that's going to be walking this thing out to the max. So I embarked on that. That's when a lot of y'all, I came across a lot of people's radar screen when I was out there shaking and moving, working with Brother Ron, and just doing a lot of projects with him and some of the other ministries, and really felt I was walking it out to the utmost. And then when I got to Ron's event, the Great Awakening Hebrew Gathering, I saw that straightway and got to know them and saw that they were truly walking this thing out on a whole nother level, where they had totally changed their careers, living conditions, economics, you name it, to really align themselves with the word. And one of the things that came out of that is I realized, hey, doing this show and talking about this and trying to convince people about this isn't the route to go. Actually doing it is going to be a much stronger witness. So for a season there, you didn't see anything from me. And now, I'm getting back out there, just showing the walk, just showing my feet, not talking, but just showing, hey, this is what it's like. This is the experience. This is what we're encountering. Boom, 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 boom. So people can actually see something, because when people see it, that's when the talk, like they say, talk is cheap. It's to no effect. But showing the fruit and not talking about, hey, we need to get fruit. No, but when you show the fruit, that's when people see. And there's a lot of people out there that are in the Hebrew community that are actually doing things in their respective areas, and you see the fruit, and then the serious people are gonna take note and acknowledge that, and maybe follow in the footsteps and everything. And that's how it was when I ran into Ron Dalton. He was one of the first people that I saw showing fruit. He said, I want to put movies out and get this word out. And he was putting in work on something and bearing the fruit of what he was putting out. And then I went to a whole nother level where I saw Pastor Dow, actually putting his hand to the plow, literally, actually laying bricks, laying block, actually had a working righteous biblical model of how to come out of this capitalistic, mammonistic beast system, and showed the model. And I mean, it, like, when you see it, he wasn't talking about it, he showed it. I saw people who were doing it, and immediately, boom, it resonated. It didn't take a whole bunch of talk. By the time Pastor Dow, when we were at that Detroit conference, by the time he got up there on the second day or whatever, and taught his workshop on how to come out of this thing, I was already sold before the meeting even started, because I had talked to some of the brothers and sisters that were in Straightway, and they told me what they were doing, and I was like, that's it, But getting back on topic, because I'm gonna make a strong point, and I want when I make this point, man, people, y'all need to really search yourself. But like I said, I saw it. He was doing it. Okay, is not to the talker, but to the doers of the thing. Faith without works is dead. You could talk, you could say, I got this, I do that, I boom, 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 boom. Oh, I love you, Yah, and all this, and all the sugary, sweet, emotional, shows of your dedication to Yah. But if the footwork ain't there, you ain't fooling me, and you ain't fooling Yah, because that's what he's gonna judge us by. So getting back on topic, what does it really take to really, like, some of the terms I hear people say, man, we need to come together, we got to build, man, we got to start our own thing, man, we got to start, boom, 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 this is a revolution, boom, boom. What it really takes, man, and what a lot of people don't realize is how comfortable and intoxicated they have gotten with Babylon. You know what I'm saying? This Greco-Roman beast, mammonistic, capitalistic system. They don't realize how comfortable they've gotten with it. How comfortable they've gotten with, the food. How comfortable they've gotten with possessions. You know what I'm saying? How comfortable they've gotten with their thinking processes. how unaware they've gotten with certain things that they do that's not conducive to coming together, okay, and coming up out of it. And like I said, you're not going to come out of this system without some serious sacrifice. A lot of people have grown attached to people, places, but things, to things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I told y'all, most of y'all know, most of y'all have watched it through the videos. It's been about a year since we sold our brand new custom built house, and no problem. And sold it. We had lived in it maybe 2 years. You could still smell the caulking and the new paint in there. You know what I'm saying? We sold it, no sweat, man, because we weren't up out of this. One of the things that lit the fire under me to really get after this thing was when that Castile shooting happened. That I think it's Anthony Castile, where the guy was getting his lights out, and the cop shot him in the car, and then you heard the child console the mother. It's gonna be okay, mommy, and she screamed, and I was crying, and hey, shalom, pastor, and I was feeling some type of way because I had just got into this Hebrew Israelite thing, so I was feeling some type of way to these towards these other nations, okay? But at that point, I was boiling. Like, I could feel the fury in me. And as time went on, I began to look, and I began to look closer, and I began to look closer, and I began to experience things, and I began to see that, these people, I was like, because my fury was on them, but then I began to see us, and I began to see the way how we are, man, and then I began to see how we were back then in the Bible and how we are now, and it's brutal, y'all. And that's what here I am now. I'm gonna make my point. The point I arrived at is how stubborn our people really are, stiff-hearted, like how stubborn. And let's talk about how I began to see it, how stubborn I was. Like I began. Y'all don't understand how angry I was when that Castile, because I don't cry and I'm not real like emotional and expressive like that with them types of emotions, but I was crying with anger, okay? And but it was a fire, and that anger began to turn into a fire and a desire and a sincere desire to really walk this thing out. And I'm telling you, man, you know, as I begin to look harder and ask, why aren't we coming out of this thing like that, and really get passionate about it, but not outwardly, then I began, y'all show you, and hopefully you could take it. And he showed me. I mean, it was a process of him showing me because, if y'all haven't heard me talk about this, majority of my military career was just real rough with me being stubborn and not knowing how to do what I'm told and all that stuff like that. And right near the end of it, I realized it. I realized, man, I'm stubborn. I just need to stop bucking and just let go and submit. And soon after that, it wasn't like 9 months after that, I was in a position to retire, and I found a job that met all the needs that I was going to have in retirement. And I retired and moved on to another job. It was literally like, y'all like, okay, you get it now. All right, let me move you to the next point. I'm saying that to even moving in when we started living communally. Like, I sold my house, sold my car, did whatever I needed to do to get out of debt, got my wife off the job, got my children out of the public food system, and linked up with saints just as serious minded as I was, and got in here. And guess what? After it was happily ever after, and we lived happily in a house like the Brady Bunch. No, no. Then the growing process continued. Like a lot of stuff, even right now, this moment, a lot of stuff gets shown to me of, man, how I need to grow. Truth be told, if I really focused on it, I'd probably be like, oh man, probably get depressed. It's a lot of growth. But the upside to that, in just knowing how to deal with certain situations and deal with people and deal with things and all that, and the peace that it brings to your life when you're growing and learning all this stuff is, you know, priceless. Is of course is worth way more than the house we had, or the cars, or the this, the that, the other, you know. And then the stress level goes down because you're not in want of all things to the level you were when you were deceptively integrated into the beast system, claiming you were a Hebrew. You know, you you know, it's a different, more peaceful, like they say, the peace that surpasses understanding is that. But going back on topic, where I see people getting set to, hey, we're gonna come together with our people. And I tell people, man, I'm public about it. There's people that talk about, hey, we going to Africa. We're gonna go to Africa. Okay. There's people talking about, hey, we're gonna build, we getting ready to build, we're gonna do this, or we're gonna form this. I'm trying to tell you, look, step one in this whole process, well, step one is just having a humble spirit. Step two is coming together with like-minded people. And that's easier said than done. And the attrition numbers, if I pronounced that right, the numbers are mind-boggling of the people that just really ain't with it, whether they realize it or not. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be everybody's going to need a lot of growth and a lot of rebuke and a lot of correction, whether that correction comes from yourself or somebody else or whatever. Everybody's going to need that. But the people willing to subject themselves to correction in order to get refined and changed is few. It's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? And let me say this too, because that brings me right to this other thing, this controversial point that people ain't gonna like, man. A lot of people like, oh man, you know, the white man and these other nations and this, that, and the other. When you read the book through and through, it's clear that all these other nations, these other nations are looking at us to stand up. But these other nations are going to be a part of the kingdom. Okay. And and I'm not going to go into all that. But the thing is, people are so quick to ostracize and put out other nations when, look, the bulk of our nation ain't going to make it in. The bulk of our nation don't truly want to, I'm telling you, go through the pain of serving Yah, man. Like going through the pain of getting yourself perfected so you can operate and walk at a higher level. And listen, when I say, like, I think it's like I say that too easy. I don't think people get what I'm saying. Like when I say I look and I'm telling you, man, going through a lot of pain I went in my life, not knowing where I was going, just wandering around through life, through my whole military career, just really not having a good, strong identity of who I was, all that stuff, just a lot of stuff I went through. And then coming into this truth and realizing, man, this is the way, dude, you will, and realizing that Yah was guiding me the whole time, you won't be attached. There's nothing you won't cut off in this world, whether it be people, places, or things. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that easy. You know what I mean? I'm talking about food, like food. Bring that up again, because that's the hot thing going on in Israel right now is this food. I'm willing to cut off any type of food, not like pizza. I cut that off. I did it for months, no sweat. You know what I'm saying? People, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? There's no person on earth that I won't cut off, like the dude said in Heat. If I see if it's contradicting truth and truth is right there around the corner, I'll just walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? If it's conflicting with the truth, you know. Things. Let's talk about things. Mindsets, and this is the weighty one. Is mindsets, man. People have. Let's just talk about Israel. The mindset that's on Israel as a nation that I've seen firsthand over and over and over again, and I've experienced it in myself. Okay, is stubbornness, and like people think stubborn is like, hey man, you need to go do that, and you like, like that or something. You know, no, stubbornness is just like, nah, just do it this way. I'm gonna do what he said, but I'm gonna just kind of do it this way. Or y'all don't understand what stubbornness is. Like hearing stuff being said to you and just, or taught to you and just not doing it, knowing it's the truth and not doing it. Like it's all types of stubbornness. You stubborn, like you know, like you got this thing, you're attached to something in this world. You know you need to be doing this, but you're so attached to this that it's stubbornness. Like people don't, like the stubbornness is so insane in our people. And I'm telling you, the reason why I can speak about it so passionately is because how stubborn I was. And I'm still growing out of it, but because I still have moments, but I've dealt with it so much that when the stubbornness rises up, I see it. You know what I'm saying? It's a spirit. And it's like a national spirit on our people. And that's our people's spirit, is stubbornness. Some of these other nations is like deceptiveness or something, or other nations got other spirits they deal with. But I'm talking about Israel, you know, what I've seen as a whole, to where I get, I get worried when I hear people so passionate, like folks is going to be going over to Africa. Who are you going over there with? And do you got good witness in your spirit on who that is you going over there with? It's like 90% of this walk is getting your mind right. Everything else naturally falls in place. So you talk about here where we're at, Straightway, Florida. You know, we got like-minded, serious-minded people who know how to follow instructions, that don't wrestle with stubbornness. So a lot of them, and that's everybody, you got to grow in the getting in cadence and getting in step and learning, getting the rhythm of how this thing go, but they don't wrestle with stubbornness like that. It doesn't have rule over their life. So you got here, Straightway, Florida, serious-minded people that want to do the same thing that we've been talking about. They want to come together as a nation. Well, we're able to do that because people ain't wrestling against each other. We're functioning as a body. We have a leader. There's a hierarchy, chain of command in Straightway. And even here in Straightway, Florida, you got a head of assembly. I'm the head of assembly. Simply a head. I'm not better than this hand. I'm not greater and better. It's just my job is ahead. This hand's job is different. It does things. It carries out what this comes up with. You know what I'm saying? But we can't get it done. This can't get nothing done if this don't tell it. And my head, like I can't pull the spark plugs out with my mouth. You know, I can't turn that wrench with my mouth. I could try. I'm gonna knock some teeth out. You know what I mean? It's operating as a body. You got people in the Hebrew community, ain't nobody being over me. Ain't nobody my head. You know, man, when I turned 40, I was looking for a head. I was like, man, I need somebody to guide me. It's like it took 40 years to realize, look, I need somebody over me, somebody to report to and all this, and you got people that, so right there, that's why you don't see a lot of, you know, uh, unity and growth and development out there, because there's no hierarchy, there's no submission, a lot of pride and stubbornness. Nobody knows how to carry out an order. And people think, no, I listen, this, that, and the other. For me, I don't, uh, for me, like what I found is the quickest way for me to discern people, and there might be a better way, but the quickest way I found to discern people is to work with them, watch them work. It literally tells you like 90 or more % about the person, in my understanding. It might be a better way, I don't know. But what I found, when you work with somebody, you say, hey, all right, we need that done over there. And they'd be like, okay. And you see how they listen. Did they listen to what you said? How are you going to know if they listen to what you say? How do they carry it out? Do they do the bare minimum? Do they do less than the minimum? Do they go above and beyond? How long does it take them to get done? Are they distracted? Like, you see it all. How are they thinking? How they solve problems? It's like, man, when you work with somebody, that's when you know. And I'm leading people. Shoot, people really gonna see who you are, big time. And it's like, I see who I am, and I see all my weaknesses, all the stuff I got to work. But you just get, man, when you come together like this and you operate like a body, it just truly shows who you are. You really see who's who and what's what. Just like in a real body. Like, I know I got bad knees because my knees bumping right now. You know what I'm saying? My knees is, they the weak link right now, but I'm not chopping them off. I'm gonna just do some, and I'll be doing a video later, a health video, probably right after this. I'll probably stop this video and do a health video about knees and knee pain and all that stuff. But in my body right now, my ankles and knees is a weak link, and damn it, my whole body knows. It's obvious to everybody. It's obvious to all the other members in the body, because it's like, hey, I'm taking it easy right now. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing when you come together as a community. All your weaknesses, whether you want to hide them and BS with them or not, everything come out. We know everybody's strengths and weaknesses here. You know what I'm saying? It's all out on the table. You better be humble. You see what I'm saying? But that's the benefit of truly coming together, not just in word, but in deed. And, that's some of the things that come out. And that's step one in the process, really getting to know people and be solid with people. And so, listen, some people don't even know that they don't know. Like, some people don't even realize they're stubborn. Some people don't realize they're insubordinate. They're not, some people don't realize they're selfish. That's a big one, is being selfless. And it almost goes hand in hand with carrying out orders, doing what's asked, doing what you say you're going to do, being reliable. You know what I'm saying? Like, my knee is supposed to hold up my body and be able to run and jump. Well, it was raining. I had to run to my car, and it felt like somebody was jamming. I like, knees, y'all not doing what y'all said y'all not doing what y'all supposed to be doing. Y'all bumping. So they might need a little bit of counseling. You know what I'm saying? They might need some rebuke. Because them jokers, I'm telling you, they was bumping today. But that's just how it is, But a lot of times I'm gonna tell you what the Hebrew community or our people, Black folks, look like when we try to come together. we look like somebody with a seizure. Okay, I think that would be like that thing where you lose muscle control and you just shake yourself to death, and then your heart flutters and you die or something. Like that's what we look like because people don't want to do their job. Like the hand going like this and like hitting the head, and it's backwards. So it's like it, a lot of people adopt that Greco-Roman mentality of, hey, everybody's equal. We're all equal. I could do what you do. We're all the same. You see it in marriages. We're all the same. Blah blah blah. Um, that ain't. There's you don't see equality in the Bible. You see hierarchy. Okay, all through. You see order. Just thinking with common sense. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. So that's one of the big things, is looking on that level. So when people are talking about come together, we're going to unite, this, that, and the other, go like this. Like, ooh, because I'm telling you, it ain't like that. It's really like when you come together, like we need to as a nation, like the book calls us to, having all things in common, coming out from among her, and not being in one of all things from these other nations. Like if we start moving in that direction, man, that's when you see a lot of selfishness come out, a lot of egos, a lot of this, that, and the other, and really people having their own agendas and not really wanting to do nothing for the greater good, you know. And I'm telling you, y'all, I think that's something, and I don't hear, nobody be refuting what I say, but I don't. A lot of people don't realize. I think that's what everybody's missing when it comes to straightway is, okay, this group of people been doing this for 30 something odd years. Why reinvent the wheel? Like they don't see that. A lot of people are, I think a lot of people are more tied into being a brilliant orator or going 20 levels deep in the word and this, that, and the other. When, like I said a couple videos ago, the surface level of the book will get you to where you need to be, get us where we need to be as a nation. But people don't want to do the basics. They basically jacking it up. You know what I'm saying? So the thing ain't complicated, man. It's not. It's just folks ain't looking at themselves, and I mean, it's basic. Now, here in Straightway, Florida, our core nucleus group, what made Straightway Florida was that core nucleus group. When they're told something, they do it. Or when they're asked to do something and they say, hey, I'll do that, they do it. And those people began to shine, myself included. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Those people began to shine, and those people were the building blocks and the foundation of making this thing move forward, to be able to be kind of more of a beacon of light to those people in this region to be able to come out in fellowship. It wasn't just me. It was a core nucleus group of people that, I mean, you hear me talk about some of these dudes. They like one dude I call him Black Terminator, because it's like no emotion, no nothing. If he says he's gonna do it, he get it done. You got brothers that is because of all the stuff going on here, initially getting this thing stood up, they had to move. They had to change jobs 3 or 4 times, messing up their resume and all that shit. You got other brothers who never, ever since the day I met him, never missed the Shabbat. Since the day I met him. That brother Shannon, he ain't me and Coy are talking like, man, Shannon never ever missed a Shabbat here ever. Like his attendance record is he like a guided missile. Like you point him at something, he ain't deviating. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get there at his own pace though. that's an inside joke. All right. Yeah. Have you ever heard about the second stick? So somebody asked, have I ever heard about the second stick? I'll put it to you like this, okay? Yeah, I'm studying. I know about all the Shannon from Haines City. Nah, Shannon is, I forget where Shannon's from. He's originally from the Barbados, but he's lived around. Brother Shannon has lived around a little bit, like Maryland and California and stuff like that. All right. But somebody said at Mike, yeah, if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and put them in there and we'll address them. That's pretty much, I made my point on what I'm saying. And just to conclude, what you're going to find when you build, like I said, the attrition rate, the numbers of people who are serious versus people who just talking, they're crazy. It's like maybe 100 to 1, something like that. Maybe not that. I know at one point, we've had like 80 people, come through here, whatever, at different times or whatever. But and then me going through the Hebrew community, all the people I know, probably met thousands of people, maybe more. And we got 16, 17, 18 people here in this house. And in Straightway, Florida as a whole is maybe 30, something like that, All right, but somebody said, have you ever heard about the second stick? There's multiple doctrines out there about the second stick. There's some interesting stuff being taught, information coming out. So yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah. But like I said, let me say this, okay? Because I'm glad he asked that question, because that got me thinking about something. So check this out. All right, hold on one sec. Let me make sure the stream's all right real quick, and then all right, all right. So going back to why I did this video and breaking this down, this will kind of hit that question too completely though. My experience is more of a social experience, dealing with our people firsthand on the front lines. And a lot of people are trying to put their finger on what the problem is. Okay, you got people saying, it's the white man. Look how they doing us. The cops shooting us. Look at these rules they doing. They putting stuff in the TV. They putting stuff in the food. It's the radiation. It's the chemtrails. You got another group of people. Everybody got their reason of why. It's what we're eating, is this, that, or why we are not coming together. Okay. And it ain't none of that. The reason we ain't coming together, if you really want to pinpoint it, is spirits. Most got spirits on. Or to put it even more basic with the book and our Hebrew faith and doctrine, is the curses. We're fully walking in these curses. Okay. So really, buckling that down, the reason there was a stage in my Hebrew walk where I was going deep in the doctrine, okay, deep in the scriptural study and book study, and just really, I got so deep, my walk began to falter, where my character began to get come out, because I was studying all this deep stuff. I wasn't studying and working on perfecting my spirit and growing spiritually. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what I don't care if you got the sugar cookie Joel Osteen Bible, you know, version of the Bible. It don't matter. If the message through the Bible is so basic and surface level, and it's unchanging, it's so basic and surface level, that to miss it, you got to be very stubborn and stiff-necked people in order to miss it. You see what I'm saying? That's why you're seeing there was a point where, I was in all this deep, super deep stuff, trying to figure out all this stuff, man. At the end of the day, man, if you in covenant with the curses and with these wicked spirits, you see, the secret sauce here in Straightway and in Straightway, Florida, is deliverance. Casting spirits off, spirits of lust, spirits of pride, that's the spirits of stubbornness. That's the secret sauce here in Straightway. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like, he think he good just because he got land and he got anybody, blah, 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 blah. People be talking. But the reason why you see Straightway, like I talked to Pastor Dow today, and they pouring concrete on another structure or something they building, a lot of it. And I'm like, man. And it kind of, to me, it's like a kick in my ass, because I'm like, it's like, wait, since Pentecost, he done built 3 buildings. I'm shifting gears, pushing harder, moving faster, because I was like, there's literally no excuse. But that's the fruit. But looking at what's hindering the development of fruit, what's hindering us coming together as a nation, is spirits, and it's lack of a desire to get your mind right and do what's needed to change these spirits and change. Sometimes it's not spirits. Sometimes it's just the way people are, not wanting to change their ways, man. It's stubbornness. So it's spirits again. So but man. So it's I'm telling you, man, it's so basic that it's just surface level, basic Torah, basic book, doing that. And then once you do that, once you actually walk this thing out, begin to get rid of all your worldly possessions and really come together with your brothers and sisters and give of yourself and all that stuff like that. And once you really begin to do that, then you come back and read the scriptures, and they bouncing off like it's shooting off the page, and you really understand the scripture. Like when I was talking to Pastor today, he was talking about look, we do it, so we understand the agricultural stuff of the book and got a deeper understanding, because he was saying they're out there, they're doing farming, they're building, they set cornerstones. So he knows the importance of a cornerstone. You see what I'm saying? The significance of a cornerstone. He's not like, these people debating over stuff because they ain't walked it out, so they don't get it, So it's, and like the analogy I give, like some of these, is like trying to wake some of these Hebrews up is like trying to teach a fish how to ride a bike, and they're debating over the instructions you give them, and you just trying to tell them, hey man, you're wet, you're in water. Like, what do you mean I'm wet? I'm in water. What you trying? And it's like sometimes it could be so frustrating, to where it's better if you just walk it out and do it. You see what I'm saying? Yo, put a 100 up in there if you understand what I'm saying. So that's step one. So I put that out, man. I'm putting this out because I'm telling you, I've been there. I've done it. I've gotten a T-shirt, and a lot of people want to make it all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, the Bible's very basic. It tells us we, as a nation, we just some wicked, stubborn people. Period. That's what it says. And I can say that because I've actually experienced it in me. Stubborn. And the Most High molly-whopped me upside my big stupid head for years, to the point where towards the end of my stubbornness, when I began to wake up in the months leading up to that, I was like, what? Yeah. What in the hell is this? Is this you? Like, what is this crap? Because I kept getting these results that were so consistent, and they were bad results at work that were so consistent that I was like, yo, there must be, like, this is you. I was like, because nobody could think to, I get caught doing stuff, and it's just all types of stuff. I knew it was supernatural. And then he woke my hard-headed ass up, like my eyes open, you know. And I think he took me through all that so I could maybe explain it better, maybe. I don't know. It was painful. So, but like I said, we're doing it here. You know, we're not at the level where pastors at in a lot of these other communities in Straightway, but we pressing towards the mark. We getting after it. And in getting after it and doing it, we see it now. We got a better understanding. Y'all's word makes more sense. We ain't sitting over here trying to come up with nothing deeper, because just getting through the shallow level stuff is enough. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So, but yeah, you know, but yeah, man, it's a good experience. And then just to go in on some other things is even with the women, because the women, you know, women are naturally wired up to conform themselves to a man. You know what I'm saying? They're naturally wired up to conform and fit in, you know. So when they hear, because this is something else that's widespread in Hebrew community, dudes talking, kneel before me, woman, kneel before God, I am your head, and all this stuff like that, but they ain't doing that. So for the woman to do it, it's like, okay, you know. But once you start shaking and moving, and the fruit is being produced, and they're seeing it, they don't have to will themselves to submit. They naturally have a desire to do it, a willing, happy desire to do it and to get after it, because they see it, they understand it, it makes sense. You're not just saying something that don't make no sense, and they're like, you know. So that's just another aspect there. Yeah. So, yep, deliverance, man, getting them going hard in the paint on them spirits, and not just getting them cast off and then walking around like la 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 la, but getting them cast off you, and then, uh, like if you truly had a desire to get that off you, doing everything you can to keep it off and put something there and grow out of it. You know what I'm saying? So the desire truly got to be there, not in word, but in deed. So that's, you know, that's what it is. So truly rising up and coming together, you know, the title of this video, you know, that's what we talking about. But yeah, man, it's real talk. And like I said, just being willing to sacrifice, press towards the mark, and you know, and seeing it, you know. And like I said, the biggest thing, like, you know, step one is just having that desire and praying to y'all, give me the burning desire in my spirit to really want to move forward, get my mind right, be aligned with with the word. You know what I'm saying? That is what it takes to rise as a nation. That's step one, And look, and people ain't gonna like this when I say, but look, I just keeping it 1,000. Like, most people don't want to do that, man. They got fears on them and all types of stuff that they got to work through, and stuff they don't want to face. But I'm telling you, man, it ain't nothing nice. Somebody said, have you dealt with our people trying to discourage? Have I dealt with our people? Yeah. There's black folks that live in this house with us. We got all nations up in this house. Not every nation, but we got a diverse group, but it's mostly black folks, brothers and sisters in this house that's serious. If Yakoba, let me know if I answered that right or if you typed that right. So, all right. So, footwork, obedience, humbleness, and selflessness teach, bro. Yeah, that brother Sheldon. Shalom, brother Sheldon. But yeah, I'll just wait for you to put that in there. I don't know because I really didn't understand it, but I think I answered it. But yeah, yeah, it can, you know, what you see is, like I said, I'm trying to think of some of the hindrances you see or the issues you see come up with, rising as a nation and everything like that. And somebody said, just wanted some cues on how you handle it. How do I handle? How do you guys keep the Shabbat at your? Okay, yeah, I'll tell you. You said so. How do I handle? Have you dealt with our people trying to? Oh, look, listen. I know how to answer. I kind of know what you're asking. Look, what you got. This is what I learned. You just by watching brothers and sisters that's here in Straightway Florida. You got people who get it. They're all in 1,000. They ain't no talking convincing. They just all in 100. They get it. Boom. Some people arrive at it, whatever. And then you got everything else. Okay. And you got to see that and know it. And like me, the way I am now, like I'm able to just discern it. Boom. Because number one, I don't listen to anything anybody tells me. People be like, I done have plenty of people, man, I can't wait to come out there and fellowship with y'all, man. I love the brother, man. And man, I'm all in and this, that, and yeah, and blah, blah, and never see him. Or people will come out here once and man, I love this, man. Y'all brothers, man. Oh, man, this is great. Man, when y'all have another Shabbat, boom, 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 never see him again. And then you got some people come, no emotional reaction. They don't say a word. And then they all in with everything committed, submitted, like foundation dudes. You know what I mean? And you got everything in between, you got some people say, man, I love this. I'm all in, man. I love the brother, man. And just like they said, so is it. They never miss a Shabbat ever again. And this is like they family. You see what I'm saying? So I've seen it, but what I do, and people here will tell you, man, talk don't get me excited at all. If you talking, your mouth just moves, And I'm like, all right. I'm like, your footwork will show your lip work, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Somebody said, how do you guys keep the Shabbat at your home? All the brothers and sisters of Straightway, Florida, come over here to our house. The sisters here cook a big meal for everybody. We watch Pastor's message, and we once Pastor's message is over, everybody fellowships. If anybody needs counseling, prayer, or deliverance, they either get with me or the women will get with Sister Koya, and we just enjoy each other's company and chop it up, man. Enjoy, break bread together, all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's rejuvenating, it's recharging. Recharges your spirit. And it's just good to be around your brothers and sisters. And in that, like what happened when we first started this out, that's what we were doing, fellowshipping and getting to know the brothers and sisters. And there was a group of brothers and sisters that I could tell was serious minded like me. And we all got together, sold all we had, got rid of all of our stuff, and moved in together and lived communally so we can iron sharpen iron, so we could grow more spiritually and get our bills paid off and stuff like that. And it's a growing process, So yeah, yeah, that's how. That's how we did it. And absolutely, man. And look, man, when you do stuff like this, it opens your eyes. You see so much more. You see the agenda out there because they know there's strength in numbers. Satan knows it, and this satanic nation knows it. They know there's strength in numbers. Do you have a PDF of the things y'all are working on? No. Working on as far as what? Spiritual growth or projects, or what do you mean? Jacob, you have to clarify. Do you cook on the Shabbat? Yeah, we warm food up. Yeah, I know that's another doctrine. You can't light a match, or there's some people, they won't turn on a light on the Shabbat because it's a light bulb. You know what I'm saying? And that's considered a fire. So there's all types of doctrines on that. But when you go read it, it says don't kindle a fire, because to kindle a fire, you got to go get the wood, and it's a lot of work, and then you got to get a striker, and it's a lot of work kindling a fire. So but once again, when you get after it and you start actually walking this thing out, a lot of stuff becomes very, very clear. Okay. So, all right. How do you guys? Okay. So yeah. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. But all right. Somebody said what you are trying to accomplish, so can know how to support. What do we try? So what we're trying to accomplish here is spiritual growth. Number one, coming together with like-minded people so we can continue to grow spiritually, to truly grow spiritually, and then becoming set apart, getting on land so we can do for ourselves, so the land can produce food for us. So we're not going to Walmart getting their poison and these other places. So we're not around all these heathens. You know what I'm saying? So our burden of living, we're not wage slaves. You know what I'm saying? Me and a brother at my job were talking about how people will buy houses in a subdivision. You got to cut your lawn whatever the time is at time frame. You got to cut your lawn all the time and do all this. So you basically own a rental property, and then, taxes, you got to pay taxes on it. Even once you get it paid off, you're paying a mortgage. So you're basically renting the property anyway. and you basically a wage slave. And you living in these subdivisions that nowadays subdivisions is like damn Nazi Germany with all the daggone rules and all that stuff, you know. So we want to get on land, live set apart, and live around our brothers and sisters, um, and you know, just set apart living, you know. Um, so yeah. Okay, I hear you better now. All right, that's what's up. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll probably be doing it's probably gonna be tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be tomorrow. I'll be doing another live or sometime this week. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. All right, where is that at? So I'll be doing a live. Um, It'll be a Hebrew Health live where I'll be talking about, you know, a lot of health related stuff. I'll be breaking down this virus situation that's going on right now and our antiviral T. I'll be talking about concentration and how there's like a conscious, purposeful battle for your attention right now, and it weakens your ability to concentrate with a lot of with cell phones and how they hire these psychologists to design these applications and stuff to aggressively grab your attention, and it weakens your ability to concentrate. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow, and then we'll be going into knee pain, be talking about knee pain and some concrete, no joke, headbanger, not playing around ways to like instantly make it gone. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what type of knee pain it is. Okay. But for the most people who struggling with knee pain, more than likely, this stuff I'm gonna show you will work. Now, me, I got arthritis from just banging my knees for years, being in the military. So my situation is different. But anyway, let me see. Monique says, Shalom, blessings, Brother Michael. Thank you for the wisdom on herbs. I would like to learn more house of Brother James. Okay, all right, that's what's up. Well, you're going to learn more because I'm going to be consistent with this. And the tomorrow is going to be like a lot about this Delta variant, this new thing, and you know, herbal protocols, that aggressive herbal protocols that are currently in development that I'll be working on. So, and then preventative ones that we already have available. I know Koya done already put out her Koya. She's a pharmacist of household herbs, so she's and head of marketing for it. So she put out an advertisement for the antiviral T, which is kind of like a preventative for these viruses and stuff like that. Yes, I'm on Facebook, Michael Israel on Facebook, and Spiritual Combat on Facebook. And we're live. I'm live on Facebook right now, and on YouTube. So, but yeah, we'll be putting out information, and then after that, I think we're gonna go pretty aggressive into renal detox. So your kidney, urination system detoxing that. Digestive detox and lymphatic detox. So we'll be getting kind of into that as time progresses. But the initial high priority stuff right now is the antiviral cleansing, cleansing blood and all that stuff like that. Just because of what I'm looking at, what's going on with this Delta thing. I mean, that junk is moving quick. So, anywho, I might do it tonight, do the video tonight, or I might do it tomorrow. I gotta see. I gotta look at what I gotta do, what things I gotta take care of. But I think I'm gonna do it today. I am. I'm gonna do it right after I'm done with this. Okay, and then I'll start working on the video after that. So, cause I got everything ready to go. All right, but anyway, with that said, y'all, appreciate y'all tuning in. Um, I'm Michael Israel, head of Straightway Florida. You're watching the Spiritual Combat Show. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all participation. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button, hit that share, subscribe, comment, whatever. If you got any questions, put it in the comments. My email is also up there also. With that said, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. Shalom, shalom. See you in a couple.